Welcome to the Mustang Message, a Dallas Center Grimes Community School District podcast. My name is Ann Wemhoff. I'm the Director of Communications and your host. Welcome to the podcast today. I am joined by Skyler Blessman and Owen Pries, who are DCG Seniors. Thank you for both being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. You both have grown up in our communities and attended DCG from preschool through 12th grade. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Skyler, I'll start with you.
Well, I have spent my whole life here in the district, and I live with my parents and my brother, and I am involved in a lot of activities here at DCG.
I've been here my entire life since I was like 2, and the community's been great. I remember coming here and I thought everybody was Colts fans just because of the horseshoes everywhere, but yeah.
Well, we changed that.
Right,
so.
Yeah, that's been changed now.
So you mentioned, Skyler, that you were in a lot of activities, and Owen, I believe you are as well. So tell us about some of those things that you've been able to be involved in during your high school years.
I've been involved in cross country and track, so I've had kind of the athletics perspective, and then also in a lot of fine arts like show choir, theater. Pretty much I've been involved in a lot of clubs too, so like Best Buddies and Student Council and Rho Kappa. And it's been really fun to be in all those different sides of activities and still be able to balance that with my academics.
How about you, Owen?
Me and Skyler are actually good friends, and I think that's because we're in the same kind of activities. I'm in cross-country, track and field as well. I'm in music stuff like choir, show choir, jazz choir, speech, theater, and then I'm also in clubs. I'm in student council with Skyler. I'm also involved in the DECA program at DCG, and that's been super cool as well. I think that it's been an experience to be involved in all those things and also have school at the same time, and I think that it's very manageable here at DCG, and that's something that's great about the school.
Well, that's good. So it's easy to balance all those activities, and do you think that has helped you? I mean, finding that balance of making sure I needed to get my schoolwork done, but, I'm involved in these things. And so how has that helped you, do you think, prepare you for your future?
Absolutely. I think that it's really taught me some time management skills and been able to put my effort into all of my activities, but also figure out what are my boundaries and when do I need to take time for myself. So I plan on continuing most of those activities in college. So I think that's really helped set me up for that.
Time management definitely. Knowing that next year my life is going to be a little more open with classes. I might have 2 classes a day or something like that, but going to practice every day after school and knowing I still have to go home, I need to do some homework for English or something like that. I think that it's been very helpful for me to be involved and still have schoolwork as well, and being able to do both and balance both is definitely going to pay off in the long run.
That's great. I think you're absolutely right. And, speaking as an older adult, I would definitely agree. You guys, the more involved you can be, we see that in the classroom. So when students are involved in activities, that only helps students become better. You guys become better in the classroom as well, and just learning those lifelong skills is such a great habit to form so early on in your life. So kudos to you. You guys have been here pre-K through 12th grade, as I mentioned, and what do you think, what has been the biggest, or what are some of the changes that you have seen or you have noticed from a student perspective over your time here?
I think it's been really interesting to watch the district grow, because I know we've grown a lot since I've been here in preschool, and definitely I think it's been interesting to watch how we've adapted to that. I know the technology has been a big part of that, and it's really nice that we're able to have that technology to use in the classroom. But also I think that the teachers and the family, the small town family, has stayed the same. So we've been able to be successful in activities and grow in our class sizes, but we've still maintained that family feel.
Yeah, and I'm also going to kind of go off what Skyler said. Our classes are getting bigger as we go. I heard kindergarten yesterday was 350 or something like that, and our senior class is 260, so that's crazy. But that's great for our district. But I also think especially in our education, simply block scheduling was not a thing when we were freshmen. And
Sure.
like to come back, especially from coming back from a year where we were hybrid and then coming back and it's now we're 4 classes a day every day. That's something that we didn't really expect to see coming into high school, and now that it is, like, it's kind of cool, it's nice, and I think that our class especially has gone through a lot of different rotations, and
you guys have kind of experienced
yeah,
it
we've
all.
experienced the whole list of just different ways to do a school day. And so, yeah, I think those are some of the biggest things we've seen. Just the way we've grown as a community, and also the way our days have just changed for us.
Tell me about block scheduling, and you guys really did kind of get the both. I mean, you had some when we were in hybrid, and then this year it's kind of adapted and changed a little bit. So to talk to me about that and what that looks like and how that's been helpful or good for your schedules.
I really enjoy block scheduling. I think that it's made a difference, definitely, in my ability to pay more attention to my work and like put more effort into my work, because with the 8-period scheduling, it was kind of hard to go back to that class, the same class the next day, and be expected to do things overnight when I have all these activities that I'm also doing. So just having that extra time to work on my assignments and really put forth the effort is really nice. And I also like block scheduling because I get to see those teachers. Well, I only get to see them like 3 times a week. That means the time that we have with them, it's a lot more meaningful, and we get a lot more work done, I feel like, in the classroom.
Yeah, like 45 minutes for a period in the 8-period class schedule. Like, they couldn't really introduce a lesson plan that well. Like, it was much more rushed. We got to get through this, and the next day it was the same kind of thing. And it was, if you get behind, you're kind of playing catch up. Where now we have an hour and a half where they can really dive into the educational aspect of it, and like, here's what we're learning, here's how we learn it, and it's just a whole different experience from that.
Do you think that has helped you learn the material better and be more prepared?
100%.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what the 4x4 does next year too. I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be super beneficial, and I think it's going to benefit a lot of people.
We're excited about that change.
I
awesome. think that's a positive change for the high school and what that looks like. And, as you mentioned before, Owen, really kind of getting you prepared for college, because you're going to have, maybe, 2 or 3 classes a day. And so just following that cadence and what that looks like post-graduation.
Definitely.
So what would you guys say has been the best part about going to school and your school experience at DCG?
Like I mentioned earlier, it's just kind of like the family feel that we have here at the high school, especially, and that I really enjoy, and also the opportunity to be involved in so many activities and also so many different advanced classes. Like some of the other schools that in Iowa I've heard of, like, don't have the same opportunities for classes that we do, and we're able to get college credit for some of our AP classes, whereas students in other districts might not have those same opportunities. So it's really nice to be able to be involved in all the different activities that we want to be involved in and have many opportunities here at DCG.
Yeah, I'm going to focus more on the involvement aspect of it, because I've been involved in a lot here, and I think one of the greatest things about DCG is that a lot of the people that are in charge of the activities I'm involved in are also staff and administrators here, because I get to see them during the day, and then they're my coaches or my directors that night. And I think that gives them a more broader perspective on, like, they have class, but they also are an athlete, or they're in the musical, they're a performer as well. And I think that helps me in the class, because I know that they see me in a different light other than just a student. And I think that's awesome at DCG, because at some schools you don't have that. You have outside people coming in, and I think the involvement at DCG on the staff and student level is outstanding.
So you're more than just a person or a number. You are Owen and you are Skyler. I love to hear that. I think that I definitely feel that. And I mean, I really haven't had a conversation with you two prior to today, but I know who you guys are because of your involvement and your academic. You guys are both smart kids as well, so your academic achievements. So congratulations to you two. If you could write, this is tricky. If you could go back to your freshman year and write a letter to your freshman self as you are just 10, 12 days away from graduation, what would you say? Owen, I'm going to start with you.
I actually just got a letter from my freshman self that I wrote for an activity my freshman year for my senior self.
No doubt. That's awesome.
And that was really cool because it was like, you have to be doing this and then you gotta like stick with it all, right? And so I think my message to my freshman self would probably be close to the same thing, like stick to it all, because that's what makes you you. You're gonna get there eventually anyways. It's gonna happen. We're gonna graduate. So enjoy it. Be involved as much as you can, like you told me to be involved in as much as you can. So I think that would definitely be the message that I tell my freshman self.
How about you, Skyler?
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Owen says, but also just to be present. I would say to tell my freshman self, because I get kind of really wrapped up in my activities. I know definitely early in high school, activities were everything, and I was like trying to make sure that I got my schoolwork done, I got my activities, I was doing my best in all those things. And I think at some point you just get wrapped up and burnt out. So just to take time for myself and then to take time with my family and my friends, because now we're going and we're moving out and it's crazy how time flies, but just to like be present with the people around me and know that that's why I'm in some of those activities is to form the relationships that I have.
I think both of those are great things, and just knowing that and have a sense of that for both of you moving forward, you're set on the right track for sure. What are you, speaking of that future track, so what are your plans after graduation?
I'll be attending Simpson, and I'm going to major in secondary education and social studies.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
We need teachers. That's great.
I'll be able to teach any class 6th through 12th grade in social studies. So I don't know exactly what I want to teach yet, but that'll be something I can figure out in college. And I'll also be running cross country and track there, and I'll be part of the large group speech team there. So
awesome. Oh, that's exciting. Good for you. How about you, Owen?
I'm going to go to Wartburg, so we're kind of going to be rivals, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's going to be nice. We're going to see each other at cross country because I'll also be running for Wartburg next year in track and field and cross country as well. I'm planning on being a member of their choir there as well, and I'm going to double major in public relations and marketing at Wartburg. I'm really excited about that. Those programs there are awesome, and I'm also working on acting right now, but that's not really education next level. That's just like something that I would like to pursue. So that is
cool.
Another future plan that I have. But yeah, so next year, Wartburg night.
Good for you. Well, congratulations to both of you making those decisions and then, saying them out loud. It's a big step and an exciting step in your future. One of the last things is we're kind of wrapping things up here. And I ask this to every podcast guest, is who is or who was your favorite teacher and why?
It's hard for me to pick one from elementary and high school.
Right.
If I could do like one from elementary and high school, I think I might do that.
Do one elementary, one high school.
From elementary, I think I'd have to go with Miss Gosling, my third grade teacher. She was awesome, super amazing teacher. She just really encouraged her students all the time, brought a positive environment, and at that age, like that's something that's really valuable because we walk in every day, see the same teacher for 7 hours.
Absolutely, yes.
So yeah. And then in high school, I'm going to have to say Mr. Nelson, the business teacher here. He is part of the reason I'm going and off and doing the business aspect in college. I was involved in DECA, like I said earlier, and he's really fostered an awesome community of like business people here at the school, and I think it's a really cool opportunity to be involved in DECA, and he's a great guy, so I appreciate him a lot.
Oh, great. How about you, Skyler? You can choose one from elementary and one from high school. I'll make it not so hard of a choice to just have one.
Okay, so from elementary, I'd say my first grade teacher, Mrs. Morrow. She was just kind of like a mother at school. Like, she made her classroom so inviting, so welcoming, and she gave us a lot of different opportunities. I remember in my class, some of the same kids that are in my class in first grade are in my advanced classes now, and she made sure that the kids that needed the extra attention got the extra attention, but she also made sure that the kids that needed more of a challenge got that too. So she had a really well-run classroom and really made sure that we felt individually heard and individually seen in her classroom. And then from high school, I would say Mrs. Every, because She is an outstanding teacher, but I knew her long before I had her as a teacher. She ran Girls on the Run with me when I was when I was about 8. And then I grew up knowing her and her family, and then also I had her as my cross-country coach. So she's been a very influential person in my life, and just to see her as a woman with a great family, a great job, a great outlook on life, and she's really inspired me definitely in faith, in cross-country, and in academics. So I think she's probably one of my biggest role models too, and she's part of the reason why I wanted to pursue secondary education, and definitely got me more interested in social studies after her class last year.
Well, you led me into another question. Who has been the most influential person, or I will expand it to people, so far in your life, and why?
I don't know. I think I'm still going to say my parents, just because of how supportive they are of like what I want to pursue in my life. I think that a good foundation and a good support system is everything, and I appreciate that from them, and I would not be as involved if they wouldn't push me to do what I love, and I think that is super influential in my life, and I appreciate that on a different level that it's hard to put into words. So
Absolutely. How about you, Skyler?
I'm going to say the same, because I think that I wouldn't have been as successful in high school as I have been if it wasn't for my parents, because my mom, she makes food all the time. She makes sure I get where I need to go. If I need anything, I know that she's just a phone call away, and she has a life too. Like, she works too, but she still makes sure that I'm able to be involved in everything that I want to be involved in. And she's just so caring, and she's influenced me to be a better person and to be welcoming others into our home, or giving people whatever they need. Like, if someone else, one of my teammates, needs a meal after track, she'll go and get it for them.
Aww.
And so just that selflessness is what I've learned from her. And then my dad is so hardworking, and he's just always trying to do better for himself, but also do better for other people. And he's such a strong leader. So I think I've gotten a lot of my leadership abilities from him, and he teaches me what character is. And that he always said that's the most important thing. He doesn't care what grades we get, as long as we put the effort in and we have the character there. And so that's always been what he goes off of. And it's shown that my brother and I put the effort in. Even though we're not perfect, he's always proud of us for what we put in.
Oh, well, you guys are surrounded by great people. I can tell you are great students. You've been a great asset for DCG. Congratulations to you on your graduation. Good luck to you in your future. And thanks again for being on the show today.
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.